Hello students, welcome back. This is Dr. Mercado. This is going to be course orientation part 2, which deals with Blackboard. Now for this short orientation video, I am going to briefly go over how the course is structured in Blackboard and where you're going to locate all of your information, your assignments, your resources, all of that good stuff, okay? Now, for that, we're going to navigate into our course. Now we're going to go into the southtexascollege.edu webpage, and then we're going to log into Blackboard, okay? Now all of your Blackboards are going to look differently because all of you are scheduled for different classes, okay? So what you're going to see is my Blackboard. Those are the classes that I'm going to be teaching this fall semester, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the left-hand side and I'm going to go to my courses. And then my fall 2025 list of courses should be populating. So you should see your classes on your screen. These are my classes, okay? So I'm going to select one class for instructional purposes just to show you kind of how my courses are structured. All of my courses are structured the same way, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to choose this one because my first two classes are face-to-face and we are dealing with online instruction. So we're going to choose my Principles of Managerial Accounting course to illustrate how to locate or where to locate your information, okay? So the first thing that we have is a Start Here tab. You'll have that in all of your classes. Maybe it'll look a little bit different. Maybe the color of the folder will be different, but you'll have a Start Here folder. Okay, once you open up your folder, you're going to have very important information. Okay, now I am not going to go through all of this information with you. All of you know how to click and navigate and read. Okay, now I'm just going to select key information that is critical for you to do. Okay, now the first tab, you'll find the instructor and course information. That is where you'll be locating my information, the course that we're taking, my phone number in my office, and my email and my office hours. And you'll also have your 3 orientation videos, which is what you're listening to. And then you'll have some information about the course. Depending on the class that you're taking is the information that you'll have. Now the only takeaway from here is that this is where you locate the 3 orientation videos as well as my contact information. Okay, so that is what is under the welcome. Make sure that you read all of that. Okay, now under the Start Here, you'll also have access to the course syllabus. Now I'm not going to go over the course syllabus because every class has a different syllabus, different assignments, different stuff because we're learning different content. But the important thing here is this is how you access your course syllabus. You just select it and then it's going to open up for you. Okay, I highly recommend that you print it out. Okay, so the syllabus is going to populate and then you can read over it carefully. And then if you have any questions, you can reach out to me. But the course syllabus has all of the information that you need, my contact information, my office hours, the department chair, what we're going to be learning in the course requirements, the grading criteria. I grade using a 1,000 point scale system. So you'll have, depending on the class that you're in, the different types of assignments. And I'm not going to put too much emphasis on this because it varies by class. This is just so you can have an overview of what is included. We'll also have a template of the breakdown of your points by week. That way you know how many points you get to earn each week and the different assignments that you have each week. Your textbook information. Now, if you are taking a course that requires Cengage, you will be needing the Cengage Unlimited Access. We'll talk about that, or we'll talk about Cengage in the 3rd video, okay? Whether you're using Cengage or SIMnet, that will be discussed in the last orientation video. We have the instructor expectations, the outline. Now, this is what is very important in the syllabus because it tells you what we're going to be covering each week, what you need to do, and the assignments that need to be completed and the due dates. Okay, so you see the weeks start on a Monday and end on a Sunday. You have 7 days. If anything changes or is not due on a Sunday, it will be outlined here. For example, in this class, the exam. Okay, so let's look at this class at the test. It is very clear here that the test is only going to be available Monday through Thursday. So I don't want you coming to me on Sunday and say, I thought it was due Sunday. No, don't think. Print out your syllabus and look at it. Okay. It says here the test is open Monday through Thursday. Okay. So if anything differs, you will find it on the syllabus. So it's very important that you print it out and have it handy at all times. Okay. And then you have some policies that you can read over, some question and answers. Okay, I answer emails or questions Monday through Friday. On the weekend, I don't respond. Okay, so please try to get all of your inquiries during the week. That way I can assist you. If you email me on the weekend, I will not respond till Monday of the following week, which will be too late because the assignments are, most of them are due on Sunday. Okay, so try to get your work in Monday through Friday. That way, if you're while you're working on your assignments, you have questions, you can reach out to me and I can assist you. Okay. So all of this is just for you to read on your own. Very important information is provided. I have an AI policy use. Yes, you can use AI in my class for certain things, but for others it's not allowed. Now I've seen a lot of students try to use AI to solve problems. And from my experience using AI, 95% of the time the problem is solved incorrectly. Okay. So AI is not there yet. Plus, if you are majoring in accounting or you are going to be an entrepreneur or you really want to learn about this, it is best that you learn it. Copying will not help anybody. Okay. So, AI is a tool that will facilitate our learning, but it is not there to supplement our learning. We still need to put time and effort and practice in getting things done. Okay. So read over the policy. Okay, so all of this wonderful information is found on your syllabus. Print it out and read it carefully. Okay, so that's where you locate your syllabus. Then you have information about technical information. Okay, so it's just the videos that you need to watch. Those are provided by Distance Learning. Okay, this is not mine. Policies and statements and support, library services if you need any, and then the AI policy. Okay. Now, in my orientation 1 video, I talked about Pronto. Please download the Pronto app. I highly encourage you to do so. It is wonderful. You get to you get to choose whether you want to chat with a specific person, with the entire class, with me. I mean, it's live interaction. I get a notification on my phone. So that way I can be able to try to respond as quickly as I can. Or if I can't respond timely, maybe someone else can chime in and help you. But the Pronto app is there. I've got a discussion board here. If you have any questions, you can post your discussion there, or you can always just reach out to me in private, whatever makes you happy. I will try to respond whatever avenue that you send any questions in. Okay, so then we have your Cengage assignment links, and I'll explain that in the 3rd orientation video. This is where you're going to be using to get access to the ebook, the electronic book, and to your assignments. Okay. But that will be explained in the next video. This is more of the Blackboard layout. Now the Blackboard layout is very easy. You're going to have your Start Here module. Then you've got your Pronto. And then you're going to have your weekly modules below that. Okay. So you see it's broken down by week. Week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, so on and so forth. So depending on the week that we're on, you're going to just open up the module. And then you're going to have a list of things to do. Okay. Always start off with the top one. Okay, open it up. Okay, so let's start off with week 1. So what will you find in this folder? In this folder, you're going to find what chapter we're covering. We're covering chapter 15. I give you an overview of chapter 15, the learning objectives for the chapter. I'm telling you to read the chapter. Okay, review the PowerPoints, and I provided you with the PowerPoint link there. And I'm telling you the assignments that you need to complete. Okay, you've got an syllabus and course orientation quiz in Blackboard. That is for attendance purposes. Please make sure that all of you complete the syllabus and course orientation quiz in Blackboard, because that is going to help me keep track of my attendance for the first week rosters. Okay, so make sure that you get that done. It'll take you probably 2 to 3 minutes to get it done. Okay. And then you have the rest of the assignments for the week. You have your Cengage tutorial, your study plan, and your homework. Okay? And I'm telling you that all of the week 1 assignments are due Sunday, August the 31st. Now below here you'll have a lecture. Okay? Now these lectures are kind of long because I do go through these problems in detail. Okay, so I've selected a problem 15.5. Now most of the problems that I select are the most difficult ones or the ones that you're going to be seeing in your upcoming exams. So please make sure that you do watch those videos. Okay, so you'll find the videos here. Okay, so this is just very important information about the chapter. Okay, once you're done reviewing that, then you move on to the next item. Okay. So in this case, for week 1, you have to complete your syllabus quiz. You just click on the link and it'll take you to the quiz and you'll complete it. Okay. Once you're done with that, then you start off with reading. Reading always happens first. Okay. So then you read the chapter. Once you're done reading, then you can begin working on the assignments. You've got 3 assignments for the week. Your Cengage tutorial, your study plan for the chapter 15, and your homework for the chapter 15. Okay. Now in the next orientation video, I'm going to show you about the assignments that are in Cengage. If you see a little circular blue thing like this, the one that you see on your screen, that means that if you click on it, it's going to take you to Cengage. So it's going to take you out of Blackboard and into Cengage. Okay, and I'm not going to click any of that until the 3rd video. This is just showing you the layout. So every week you'll have the same layout. Okay, in week number 2, if you open it up, very similar. You open up the module overview first, and you're going to see what we're going to do this week. Well, we're going to cover chapter 16. I give you an overview of the chapter. I give you the PowerPoints, the assignments that you need to complete, the due date, and the video, the recorded lecture. Okay? So that is how it works every week. Okay? Every week you'll have your assignments. Okay? And it tells you here. So for example, on week 7, you're going to have your first test in this particular class. Okay? You have the module overview. What are we going to do? We're going to complete an exam, right? Test number 1. And I usually like to start off with a positive quote. We need to be positive. To do good, we need to be positive. We need to be happy, okay? So I usually start off with a quote, and then I go on to explain what we're going to cover, the due dates, the review for the exam, and what we're going to be covering in the exam, and the due dates, okay? So once you read over that, then you can begin for your assignments for the week, which you have your test and an optional extra credit assignment. Okay. So the layout of Blackboard is very straightforward, very easy. You're going to find everything that you need within the weekly module. So you just have to locate the week that you're in, open it up, and then you'll have access to the assignment links and an overview of what we're going to cover this week. Okay. So that is the layout of my course. The Start Here folder has information about the instructor. It has the syllabus. It has information about the course. Okay, it has all of that information. And then in the bottom, you'll have the weekly modules where this is where you begin working on your assignments. Okay. Now, important to note, I post announcements every week. Well, let me not. You know what? Let me change. Let me go back in there, because that is my view. Let me change to the student view, okay? So that way, this is how it should look on your end. I don't know because I'm not a student, but this is the student view once it loads. Okay, so it will be basically the same thing. It's just now it's at a student view level. So you'll have access to the same thing, the modules, okay? And everything is already available to you. If you want to go look at the review for the final exam, the review for the final exam is already there, okay? So all of that information is available. Now let's start off with the announcements, okay? I do post announcements every week. As you see here, I've got 2 announcements posted for week number 1, okay? I've got a welcome announcement for the fall students, okay? So I'm welcoming the students to the course, okay, and giving them information. And then I've got a second announcement reminding students of the week 1 assignments. Okay, so I'm telling the students this week runs from August 25th through August the 31st. And this is everything that you need to do this week. So do not forget. Okay, so I give you the due dates. I give you reminders. So every week you'll see a announcement posted. Now, If anything needs to be communicated to the class, this is where I would do it. I'll send out a Blackboard message and everybody will get notified. Please log into Blackboard 3 to 4 times a week. That way, if any important information is provided, you are aware of that. Okay. Now, discussions. Not all of my classes are going to have discussions. Managerial accounting is one that has a lot of discussions. Okay. So, you'll have the discussions. Now, the discussions need to be completed the week that they are due. You can't work on them ahead of time. Okay. And they have very strict deadlines. Okay. But if there is discussions in your course, you'll find them there. Okay. The gradebook has been set up. Now, as you complete your assignments on Cengage, the grades are automatically going to be brought into Blackboard. So if you complete an assignment on Cengage, just give it a couple of minutes and then the grade will automatically populate here. As you complete the grade, this grade section will be entered and your grade will be calculated on the top right hand corner. Okay. Now, the correct gradebook is the Blackboard gradebook, which is the one that you're looking at. Okay. There will be discrepancies between Blackboard and Cengage gradebook because there are some assignments that are housed in Blackboard that are not in Cengage. So that is why this Blackboard gradebook is the correct one, because this gradebook includes all of the assignments. Okay. So if you want to know your grade, look here. Look at the Blackboard gradebook. Okay. Now, if you need to message myself or any of your classmates, use your messages feature. Now, this is the preferred method of communication with me because that way I know that you're in this class and I can be able to save or archive the information or the communication between us. Okay. So, if you want to send a message, on the right side, you click New Message. Okay. And then it asks you to select the person you want to message. You got a list of students. Okay. You've got myself if you want to message me. Okay. And then you type your message. Okay. Hello, Dr. Mercado. I am very confused on problem 15.9. Okay. And then you can say, I am attaching a copy for your reference. I am attaching the problem for your reference, okay? And then you continue, okay? And you give me the problem that you're having issues with. You explain to me what your problem is, what you're not understanding, what your confusion is, and I will try to respond as soon as possible, okay? But you can do that. You can select the person, or you can select everybody in the class. Okay, there's more students there. So yes, you just make your selection and you can send the message. Once you're done selecting who you're going to send it to, you type it out. On the bottom right hand corner, you just click send. Okay, so this is a great way to communicate with me and it makes it much more easier to do so. Okay, now if you are, and that takes me back to another question. If you are messaging me because you're confused on a problem, please make sure that you give me the problem number, a screenshot of the problem that you're looking at, and your attempted step-by-step solution, and your specific question or questions. Okay. Now, why do I need the screenshot? Because every single student has a different problem. All of my homework is algorithmic. Every student will have a different problem. Okay, so Maria can be working on the problem and Juan can be working on the same problem, but the numbers are different. Okay, so I need to know what you're dealing with so I can be able to respond to your inquiry correctly. Okay, so please make sure that you always include the problem number and a screenshot of the problem so I can take a look at it. Okay, so from the student's perspective, the only tabs that you're going to be looking at is the content tab, the announcements, the discussions, the gradebook, and messages. Okay, but you're more than welcome to navigate anything that you like. You're not going to break anything. Okay, so that is where you're going to locate your grade under your gradebook, the discussions, and then the discussions you'll have links on the actual weekly module. I don't remember. Let me see if I can find a discussion. right here. So on week 4, you'll have a discussion, but you see you don't have to worry about going to the discussion tab, because if a discussion is due in that week, I'll provide you with a link to the discussion. So in week 4, students are going to work on chapter 18 reading, 18 study plan, 18 homework, and a discussion. Okay, so I give you everything that you need within the actual module itself. That way you're not having to hunt for the information. Okay, so that is basically it. It's very straightforward, very easy to navigate. You've got the information in the start here, everything that you need to know, and all of the resources, policies, all of that good stuff. Okay, the syllabus. Okay, and then once you review that, then you basically just go to the week that we're in and you begin working on those tasks for the week. Okay, the Pronto Instant Messenger, make sure that you do download it to your phone. That way you can be able to communicate in case you have any questions or inquiries. Okay, so Blackboard, fairly simple, very organized. By module, you'll find the resources, the PowerPoints, the videos, due dates, the outline for the chapter. Everything is provided in each of the weekly modules. Okay, so that is it for course orientation video 2, which is the overview of Blackboard. Very easy, very straightforward. If you have questions or concerns, please do not hesitate to contact me. So that is it. Now we're going to the final video. So make sure that you don't skip the third video. The third video is very important because I'm going to show you how to access Cengage. Okay. So until next time, have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye-bye.